Hey everybody, Fabian for Liberty, FabianForLiberty.com. I've had a lot of people ask me how I was so confident, or why for months I was saying Obama would win re-election. There's really so many reasons why this is just such an obvious, and why so many of the conservative pundits, in fact, mostly all of them, including Karl Rove, who I think maybe still doesn't believe Obama won re-election, why they were just so wrong and so discredited. Let's get into that. Hey everybody, Fabian for Liberty, FabianForLiberty.com. So what does an Obama second term look like? Fourth term? Well, yeah, I guess second, third, fourth, fifth, who knows if we even have presidential elections in 2016. So many of the conservative pundits got it wrong. Why did I get it right? I'm just some schmo, with the computer. Not only did I tell you it'd be, record low turnout, which it was, compared to 2008, but also Obama won re-election. One of the reasons, and notice, literally the day after Bloomberg is reporting, quote, Obama may levy carbon tax to cut US deficit, HSBC says. Now, they're masking this in we need to do something about the planet, right? These tropical storms, these hurricanes, they're happening because of global warming, and, hurricanes are scared to death of carbon taxes, so if we pass the carbon taxes, hurricanes won't come anymore. That's probably what these people literally think. It's that insane. Forget about the fact that over 35,000 scientists have signed off and said no conclusive proof that global warming is man-made. In fact, the Earth isn't even warming, hasn't for decades. Climates are changing. Climates change all the time. It's normal. They want to say we need carbon taxes, and the idiots out there are going to believe, yeah, we got to go, support the carbon taxes, even though it's going to raise coal prices, which coal accounts for about 43% of all electricity in America. But again, this is a deindustrialization plan of America. Ship all these coal plants over in China, have you basically starve you out, and that's the plan. The other plan, though, is one a little bit more sinister, and Al Gore, who's along with Goldman Sachs, who's funded this, which, by the way, Goldman Sachs, of course, is a big contributor to President Obama, as well as JP Morgan Chase. What they don't tell you about is, boy, with all these carbon taxes and all these carbon credits, what are they going to do with those carbon credits? Oh, I know. They're going to create a market, but to create a market you need money. So who would put up the seed money, or who would allocate the money for that? Oh, that's right, Barack Obama. So Barack Obama, years ago, gets the money for the beginning of a Chicago climate exchange. That was the model. That one perhaps wasn't as successful because they couldn't get the carbon credits going. Now it looks like they're moving full steam ahead, not just with that, but with gun control, monitoring everything you do in your life. But let's just stick to carbon credits now. One of the experts known to the Chicago Climate Exchange said this is a $10 trillion plus market. It's not about the planet. It's not about Mother Nature. It's not about the freaking stupid polar bear. It's not about any of that crap. It's about stealing the wealth of the people, creating another system of paper fraud, in this case literally trading air, creating a market. And Goldman Sachs is at the very, very tip of the spear. So, of course, their puppeteer, their puppet in the White House is going to go all along. In fact, a tax starting at about $20 a metric ton of carbon dioxide is the equivalent, and rising about 6% a year could raise $154 billion by 2021 for deficit reduction. Boy, that's really going to help when you're running $2 trillion deficits, which I think probably we'll see beginning next year, because now they're only about $1.5 trillion, 1.2 trillion. Anybody that thinks that's inflation is just, I guess what MSNBC would say, the right-wing kook fringe that evidently Mitt Romney was somehow part of. I couldn't even make this. I couldn't make this up if I was writing a novel or a play. I couldn't make this crap up. So they want to pass carbon credits, carbon taxes. Now, forget about all the stuff we already know about. The National Defense Authorization Act, the Predator drones, American kill lists. Now everyone's pushing for war in Syria to help finance Al-Qaeda. You know, the list really goes on and on. Continuing capital controls. But what about just, you know, the day after Obama's elected, what does he do? Does he go out and does he say, hey, let's, you know, put together a plan to create jobs? No. Just hours after President Obama secured a second term in the White House, the U.S. supported the UN bid Wednesday to reignite talks over the international treaty regulating the $70 billion global conventional arms trade. So the UN Small Arms Treaty is back. It's back. And yes, Obama did, you know, stall back in July over this because, you know, hey, it's campaign season. You can't really try to take people's guns away during campaigns because, you know, some of the rednecks that they tried to fool might vote for them. So I mean, and when I say rednecks, I'm saying that's what these people think of people that are like farmers and live in urban areas. They think you are literally a dumbed down redneck that, you know, all you care about is your guns, clinging to your guns and your religion, quote unquote. But the UN Small Arms Treaty is back. Now, is Obama going to confiscate your guns going door to door? Probably not. Is he going to price ammunition via Cass Sunstein's model? Basically, just little increment baby steps, pricing your ammo so high that it's going to cost you $50 for a pack of shotgun shells. That's what I think you'll see happening. But so far, China, who's in favor, communist China, America just arm in arm with communist China, Britain, France, Germany joined China and the US in support of the measure, which is expected to pass during a vote by the General Assembly. So great, giving our sovereign rights, NRA and other gun lobbyists 100% opposed to this by any stretch of the imagination. You could also probably see, after another potential false flag patsy shooting at some mall or whatever they'll try to roll out, an assault weapons ban that basically just says, yeah, we're going to ban guns that are semi-automatic that have certain cosmetic features. So if you have an AR-15 like I do, forget about the fact it's still semi-auto, just like a bolt-action rifle. You know, it has certain features that kind of scare us, so we're going to ban that. Lastly, we have TSA plans to track all daily travel plans, social events, grocery store visits, basically everything. That's the new America. That's what makes things so dangerous about Obama's second term, possibly his third, fourth, who knows. You know, 50 years ago, Nazi Germany, or 60, 70 years ago, Nazi Germany, communist Russia. By the way, now Obama has more flexibility to go transmit to Vladimir. I don't know what that is. We'll soon find out, I'm sure. That basically, back then it was all human intelligence, right? They didn't have all this new intelligence, computers, everything else to track everything you do. We know they're already tracking all your credit card purchases, all your phone calls, emails. Remember, Obama in his second term has the brand new grand opening of the Utah data center to track everything you do. Bone chilling, ladies and gentlemen. And now security experts are warning the American people, or some are actually happy about it, that they will literally track everywhere you go via your smartphone, your car, your phone calls, your email. Everywhere you go will be tracked, and of course the Utah data center will be used for that. Why on earth would they want to do that? Because I know, I look back in history, other countries that started tracking their citizens, trying to get rid of guns, that ended really bad. I mean, it ended really bad. I'm going to let you kind of decide what you think all of this means. I'll let you think for yourself. That's what I believe in. Think for yourself. But I will say that the next 4 years could potentially be hell. I want to give my disclaimer like always. 2 points, very important. One, the future is still bright for the individual, meaning you can still do anything you set your mind to do. That is a universal law that cannot be broken. Unless, you know, they could throw you in jail, they could put you in a FEMA camp, they cannot control your mind and the freedom you have in your mind as an individual. But now, while you still have freedom, you have the ability as the individual to accomplish anything you want. Secondly, there's always two economies. The global economy, the American economy, is a total fraud scam that is crashing right before our eyes and will collapse, in my opinion, in the second term of Obama. What do I mean by collapse? Well, record unemployment, continuing inflation that increases, some kind of dollar crisis as well. Well, but there's always your economy as well, your individual economy that the criminals in Goldman Sachs and the criminals that have colluded with the highest levels of government, they can't control that. They'll try capital controls and everything else, but you still have that ability. That's the positive thing about this. We still have that time of that window. Go out and try to earn as much as you can. Go out and try to be a value in the marketplace while there's still one. Use that time to prepare wisely. Check out FabianForLiberty.com. You could also check out Facebook, my Fabian for Liberty on Facebook and on Twitter. Also remember, every Monday and Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, the Fabian for Liberty program, only on American Freedom Radio. You can listen live right off of FabianForLiberty.com. Thank you for watching. I'm out.